Mr. Demola, he'll join us soon. Mr. Demola will join us soon. He just sent me a message. You should give him 5 minutes.
Hello, everybody. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Good evening, Mr. Demola.
Good evening, Mr. Demola.
Good evening. Okay, so let me share my screen. That stuff is PL 300. Oh my god, I think I closed it. Let me quickly open it. Just okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I think we're on. Did you guys continue yesterday, or
No, we're unable to. All the mentors were, I think they were trying to rest,
okay?
so they couldn't come.
I think we are just 4 now, right?
Yes, just basically 3 that that were sure that have taken the exam. So they're the ones that are supposed to do these exam prep classes.
Okay. So I just wanted to understand if, I wanted to know if there's any question, or maybe somebody missed
So,
the question.
so far, no. I don't know if other people. For me, no. So I went over the questions again and I was able to answer them.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me
Okay,
now,
so
no.
we can just move on there.
Yeah.
I think we are done with many of this. We are done with this. Yeah, we are done with this. We did this. We also did this. Okay, this was the last question before. This was the last question we treated.
Yes, this one.
Okay, so question 7 under topic 3. So the question says you have a report that contains a bar chart and a column chart. The bar chart shows customer counts by customer segments. The column chart shows sales by month. You need to ensure that when a segment is selected in the bar chart, you see which portion of the total sales for the month belongs to the customer segment. How should the visual interaction be set on the column chart when the bar chart is selected? So for this particular one, the answer is filter. So in Power BI, we have different ways to interact with visuals, right? So I think there is, can you guys see my Power BI? You can see this Power BI, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So there is no impact, there is highlights, and there is filter. So in this case, they said you need to ensure that when a segment is selected in the bar chart, you see which portion of the total sales for the month belongs to the customer segment. So if I open my Power BI now, and I'm just using this one as an example. So when I try to filter this, which one should I use? Okay, if I try to filter this particular segment, ship mode, and I click on it, I think it's taking time to load. So you can see that I'm seeing the portion, right? So it's currently on filter. I'm seeing the portion. So for me to change that, I think I'll go to view and click on, is it view or format? So I'll go to format and click on edit interaction. So under this interaction, I'll see, I'll see filter and I'll see highlight, right? So this is for filter. Filter shows you everything for this particular chart. So if I change this to second class, you also see the total. You will see it in the total, but I think for highlights, you will see like you see the total, but you also see like the portion of that. So I think the answer is highlight actually. Instead of this. This one is saying filter removes all but data you want to focus on. Highlighting is filtering. It doesn't remove data, but instead highlights a subset of the visible data. The data isn't highlighted. It means, so they said you have a report that contains bar charts and a column chart. The bar chart shows you customer counts by customer segment. The column chart shows sales by month. And they say you need to ensure that when a segment is selected in the chart, you see which portion of total sales for that month. So I think the answer is highlights, right? Because if I'm using highlights in this case, this is highlights. So I'm seeing what portion this is for this, for New York. This standard class is 14 million out of 26 million, basically. Or out of 0.26 million, that I think 260,000. I don't know. So I think the answer to this one is highlights. But if I'm using filter, it filters all, like filters everything. Right? So I'm not able to see the portion. But if I'm using this, I'm able to see like the, should I say, the breakdown or the group which New York falls, this ship first class falls in New York. So yeah, that's for that. I think the answer to this one is highlight. Because highlight shows you the portion, right? So, okay. So are we clear on that? Hello, guys.
Yes, well, I'm clear. I don't know about that, but yeah, I'm clear.
Okay. So can we move on to the next question, everyone?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So for the next one, they said you have a dashboard that contains tiles pinned from a single report as shown in the original dashboard exhibit. Click the original dashboard tab. Then I said you need to modify the dashboard to appear as shown in the modified dashboard exhibit. Then I also said click the modified dashboard tab. And I said, what should you do? So they said edit details of each tile, change the report theme, change the dashboard theme, create a custom CSS file. So the answer to this one is change the dashboard theme, because this is the dashboard basically, right? If you are changing the report theme, it will not affect the dashboard. I'm sure you guys are aware that dashboards are different from reports.
Yes.
So a report is created so that a dashboard can be created, right? You are pinning the visuals from your report to a dashboard. You get, so a dashboard is just where you present your data. Like if you are in the standard way to present data, you don't use reports, because dashboard shows you the most important information, right? So if you are presenting to top managers, they only care about your dashboard. They don't care about report. They don't care about some calculations they're working on. They just want to see numbers, right? And the way to show those numbers is through dashboards, right? So for this particular answer, the answer is change dashboard themes. Many of the DOMs around, you see, sorry?
I thought it says a single report, not different reports.
Yes, it's still change. This is a dashboard. This is not a report. So
But
if you are
from the same report, dashboard can be from different reports,
yes,
but from the same report.
okay. How about if it's not different reports? Where are you going to? How are you going to change? How do you think we are going to change this?
It's
If it's
dashboard because it's different reports.
And wait, I'm asking a question. So if it was from different reports, right? How do you think we are going to change the team? Do you think we'll change the team from if you are working with 10 reports, for example? Do you think we'll change the team in those 10 different reports? Then
No,
everything will change.
you change it on the dashboard because it's different reports.
No, this one is actually is from the dashboard. But it's just that I
Why?
can't just show an example. Looking at the background, normally this dashboard thing is meant to be white. It's just that I can't show an example. I don't have like a dashboard example. You get, but well, you can try to make your research on that. But the answer to this one for my own research is dashboard team, because if you change the report team from maybe Power BI, right? You still need to pin those visuals. You're pinning the visuals, you're not pinning the reports. You get? You understand? So if you are pinning the reports, it won't look like this. It will look differently. So the answer to this one, based on my own understanding, is change dashboard team. So can we move on?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so in the answer they said with Power BI desktop report team, you can apply design changes to your entire report, such as using corporate colors and changing icons or applying new defaults visual formatting. When you apply a report team, all visuals in your reports use the colors and formatting you selected from the themes are default. But maybe you guys can read this one and try to understand this. Okay. But let's just move on for now. Right. So this particular one, they said you are using existing reports to build a dashboard that will be viewed frequently in portrait mode on mobile device. You need to build the dashboard. Which 4 actions should you perform in sequence? To answer, move the appropriate action from the list of actions to the answer area and arrange them in the correct order. So for us to work with a mobile view, so I think the first step is, okay, which 4 actions, right? So which 4 actions are we going to do? I think the first thing is to open the dashboard, change the dashboard view to phone view, and pin the items from the reports and rearrange, resize, or remove items from the phone view. Do you guys agree? So the first one is open the dashboard, change the dashboard view to phone reports, pin items from the report to the dashboard, then rearrange, resize, or remove items from the phone view. These two look similar, like change the dashboard view to phone view and create a phone layout for the existing report. But I would say open the dashboard, change the dashboard view to phone view, rearrange, resize, or remove items from the phone view, and pin items from the report view. Do you guys agree?
Yep, yes, I agree.
Okay, but let's
Okay,
look at the one. Open the dashboard, change the dashboard view to phone view, pin items from the report to the dashboard, and rearrange, resize, or remove items. Okay, so that's that. So the next question says, you build a report to help sales team understand its performance and drivers of sales. The team needs to have a single visualization to identify which factors affect success. Which type of visualization should you use? The answer to this one is key influencers. Even though I don't know how to use it, right? I don't know how to use key influencers, but I know that key influencers enables you to check for factors affecting a particular variable. Right, so that's what key influencers does. It's actually an AI tool. So you can learn how to use it, but personally, I don't know. Since I don't use it like in my day-to-day, I don't like understand how to use it basically. I only like learn stuff which I find useful. Yeah, so that's me. Right. So can we move on? So the next question 11, is saying you need to create a visualization that shows the relationship between unit price and quantity ordered. The solution must highlight orders that have a similar unit price and order quantity. Which type of visualization and which features should you use? To answer, select the appropriate option in the answer area. Each correct selection is worth 1 point. So the visualization, in my own opinion, should be scatter plot. Right? So scatter plot shows you the relationship between two numeric variables. If you are checking for the relationship or the correlation, basically. So scatter plots is the answer to this. Then the feature should be automatically find clusters. Right? You're looking for where those variables where they match. So if you guys have heard about clustering, you understand this. If you're a data science person, you understand this very well, right? So that's what a scatter plot does. It's used to find clusters, but not really to find clusters most of the time, right? It's mostly used to find relationship. So if the if variables are moving upwards, that means there's a positive relationship between your quantity ordered and unit price. That means as unit price is going up, quantity ordered is going up. But if it is going down, like if it is I don't know how to explain it, but let me show you like an example. So this is it here, right? This is a scatter plot here. So if unit price is going up, in this case, these two variables they are going up, like they're increasing. That shows you that there's a positive relationship between two of them. But if it is decreasing, there is a negative relationship. That means as price is going, maybe for example, this could be price and this is quantity ordered, right? So as price is increasing, quantity ordered is decreasing. So that means there's a negative relationship. So what they mean by clusters is by saying, okay, in this particular group, they are close to each other. So that means there's something different about them from others. Same with this particular group, and maybe same with this one, and same with this one. So that's how clustering work. Just like grouping different variables together. Yeah, so that's that. So does anybody have any question on that? Anybody?
No, not for me. I don't know about others.
So if you have any question, you can ask, right? Okay, so for the next one is saying you have a table that contains the following columns. We have city, we have total sales and occupation. You need to create a key influencer visualization as shown in the exhibit. So this particular one, this is a key influencer question, but I'm not too familiar with key influencers, right? I said it earlier, but from what I was able to do, I think the answer to this one should be analyzed by city.
No, analyzed by total sales, because you can go back to the screen refresher. Even if I don't know, I'm just using logic to answer. What total sales to increase? So we're analyzing total sales. It's just logic. Then I see occupation. Yeah, explain by occupation. That's the next thing.
Yeah.
Expand by, then obviously there's no city here. That means the next thing will be city.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's
Analyzed by total sales. Yeah.
It's just logic. I just use logic to answer. It's not like
yeah. So analyzed by total sales, explained by city, expand by occupation. So that's correct. You actually skipped my mind. This was what I actually came across. Yeah, so that's for this.
It gave me the exam.
Did it? I'm not even sure. I can't remember. But I know I screenshotted it on my laptop, like the answer to this particular question. Do I still have the screenshot here? Yeah, exactly. So I saved like the screenshots here. Right, the answer to that I saved it and I'm here to delete it. So analyze by total sales, explain by occupation, and expand by city. Well, maybe my dump is wrong. I don't know. Is it the same? Okay, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. So that's that. So this particular one, they said you have the data set shown in the following exhibits. And they said you need to ensure that the visual shows only the 10 cities that have the highest profits. What should you do? So we have the options. We have add the top end filters to the visual, configure the sales profit measure to use the rank X function. He said add the calculated column to the table that uses the top n function individual, top n function. Individual, replace sales profits with the calculated column. And then I said add a calculated column to the table that returns the city name. If the city in the top 10 otherwise, the calculated column will return not in top 10. Individual, replace sales profit with the calculated column. May God just help us. But the answer to the question is add a top 10 filters to the visual, because that was what was also used here by this person. So he did, I think he did top N to show the top 5 for sales. So that will also apply to profits. So I think that one is clear. So the next question is saying you have a clustered bar chart that contains a measure named salary as the value and a field named employee as the axis. Salary is present in the data as numeric amounts representing US dollars. You need to create a reference line to show which employees are above the median salary. Then I said you create an average line by using the salary measure. The answer is very obvious. The answer is no, because salary and median and average are not the same. Had it been they said mean here and they said create an average, the answer would have been yes, but the answer is no, because average and median are not the same. And I'm sure we did that one in secondary school. So can we move to the next question?
Yes.
Okay. So they
Yes.
said, yeah, the next one is saying you have a clustered bar chart that contains a measure named salary as the value and a field named employee as the axis. Salary is present in the data as numeric amount representing US dollars. Then I said you need to create a reference line to show which employees are above the median salary. You create a percentile line by using the salary measure and set the percentile to 50%. So the answer to this one is yes, because 50th percentile is also the same as median. Do you guys agree? Do you guys agree or disagree? That 50th percentile is also the same as median.
So you have to
agree.
you have to.
I'm just figuring. I just know now, though. Thank you
Just
for the
know.
knowledge.
Okay. It's actually the same. So we have what's this thing called? If you look at, I don't know if you guys have ever seen something like this, box plots. Okay, so for this particular one, we have first quarter. So this one is actually used in if you want to perform some kind of analysis, right? Shows you the minimum value, the maximum value. This is the first quarter, lower quarter, which is first quarter, and also the 25th percentile, right? This is the 50th percentile, which is also the median, and this is the 75th percentile, which is the Q3, as the third quarter. You guys understand that 26th, 25th, 25th percentile and first lower quarter is the same. So this is the median, which is also the 50th percentile, right? So we have the interquartile range. So this one is actually used to check like the distribution of the data to understand where the maximum value is, where the median is, and where the minimum value is. It's actually for if you are performing like some kind of analysis, you might need some of those kind of charts. So, but the answer to this one in summary is 50%. So topic 4, question set 4. So now the question says, you have a query named customers that imports CSV from a data lake. Does anybody know what a data lake is?
A data what? I can't see it.
A data lake.
No, no, no.
What of a data warehouse?
I know data warehouse.
What of
Can you
database?
explain data
I know
warehouse?
data warehouse.
Okay, what of database?
I know database.
Okay, so a data warehouse is, should I say, where you store data permanently? Your data, where you store it permanently. Because I'm sure all of you understand what a database is, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you store,
No. I know database like SQL, Access, right? That's my
yes,
own understanding. But can you understand it in layman's term? Can you explain it? You have said data warehouse is where you store data in the
yeah,
cloud,
where you
right?
store,
Storage. What is
where
Who
you,
data?
store data permanently?
where you store data permanently. In
Is data
SQL,
warehouse.
yeah, that's what a data warehouse is.
What of database?
So a database is where you store data, but it's not permanently there.
Store data where?
It's not permanently there in your database. Your data is not permanently in your database.
Okay, just a temporary storage.
Exactly, just a temporary storage. So there's this thing called ELT. I think I did. No, don't let me open that.
I mean ETL, Abi?
There's ELT, there's ETL. So I'll explain the difference between the two. So the meaning of ETL is extract, transform, and load. So you have to perform ETL, right, from different databases to your data warehouse. So what you're basically doing is you're transforming, or you're moving on your data, you're extracting it from your different databases, transforming it to move it to your data warehouse. You can see, I think it's a very good example. So you're extracting from your database, transforming the data and moving it to your data warehouse where it will be stored permanently, right? So you can, if a company has been existing for over 50 years, they cannot store that 50 years worth of data in the database. You get. So it is always stored in a data warehouse. So in their database, what they might just have is maybe 5 years worth of data or maybe 3 years worth of data. You get. So that's what a data warehouse and a database is. So a data warehouse just collects data from different sources. It could be databases, it could be ERP systems, it could be SharePoint. So different sources, they store it permanently, right? But a database is used to store data temporarily. You can't store data there forever. While a data lake is used, it also works like a data warehouse, but a data lake stores data, stores unstructured and structured data, right? They are storing different kind of data, and the technique it uses is ELT, not ETL. So, ETL stands for extract, transform, and load, but ELT stands for extract, load, and transform. So you're extracting the data from the different sources and you're just loading it. Then you perform transformation later. So that's just the difference between a data warehouse and a data lake. So since the data warehouse uses the ETL technique, data lake uses ELT technique. So you can try to do some reading so that you don't get confused. But a data lake is just where you store data before you transform. You just load everything without doing any transformation. Be it CSV, be it Excel, be it SQL, be it unstructured data, be it the JSON I also talked about. Did I talk about JSON here? JSON and XML? Well, I didn't talk about it here. When I talked about dictionaries in Python, if you guys remember. Do you guys remember?
You talked about it, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So those are unstructured data. So we are storing everything in a data lake before you transform it. So that's just it. So let's go back to the question. So the question is saying you have a query named customer that imports CSV from a data lake. The query contains 500 rows as shown in the exhibits. So this one, they are gathering different CSVs, right? Different CSVs and trying to transform it. Then I said you need to keep only the last modified row for each customer ID. Which 3 actions should you perform in sequence? To answer, move the appropriate actions from the list of action to the area, to the answer area, blah, 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 blah. Okay, for this particular one, what is the first thing we are meant to do? So I think we have these actions. We have filter the customer query on modified dates is latest. Then I also said merge the customer group query into the customer query based on customer ID and modify the date using outer join. They said remove duplicates in the customer ID column, duplicate the customer query and name the new query customer group. This question, I'm not sure I've come across it before, but then I also said group the customer grouped query by customer ID and output the max modified dates value into a column named modified dates. Merge the 2 query based on customer ID and modified dates by using inner join. Hey, they said you have a query named, the query contains,
I think we start by removing duplicates from the customer ID. We have some duplicates in customer ID, and that's like, so it's like whole. So I think that's the first step. There's one.
So we can start by removing the duplicates in customer ID column. So that means we have one, we also have one here, right? And
yeah,
now the thing is, this 1 and 1 now, are they like, do they have the same? Okay, I think they have the same customer name, right? And they have the same category, but they are just in different CSVs. So this one is coming from 112, this one is coming from 104. You get? So we
it
just
also
have to,
depends if we need the source name. Do we need the source name? Because like this, like I'm very sure our data.
no, we don't actually need the source name.
Exactly.
We don't
So
actually
we
need
can
the source.
exactly.
You know, the way I find it is, okay, we are just assuming this is 2020-01-04. So that's January 04. Then this data is for 2020-01-12. That's 12th of January. You get? That's how I'm able to understand it just by looking at it.
Okay.
Because they are storing because they are storing the source name by the date, right? So if we are deleting the customer ID, that means we are removing we are deleting information for other months. So that's what I think. But they said you need to keep only the last modified. But okay, they also said you need to keep the last modified row for each customer. That means they want to see the last maximum date, I guess. So they said filter customer query. So I think this will be the first step in Power Query. So we'll filter the customer query on the modified dates latest. That's the first thing to do. Then I think we have merged the customer grouped query into customer query based on customer ID and notified dates by using a left or more. That's so complex. So that's if there are more than there's a query called customer, and there's another one called merge customer grouped query into the customer query based on customer ID and modified dates by using a left join. We have modified dates here, but they are not in different tables. So they also said remove duplicates in the customer ID column, duplicate the customer query, and name the new query customer grouped. Then they also said group the customer grouped query by customer ID and output the maximum modified date value into a column named modified dates. Merge the two queries based on customer ID and modified date by using inner chains. To be honest, this thing is turning my head. So let's just check the answer. So from the one answer, they said duplicate the customer query and name the new query customer group. They also said group the customer grouped query by customer ID and output the max modified date value into a column named modified date. They also said remove duplicates in the customer ID column. Come on, my head has been turned. Maybe you guys should just try to look at this particular answer, yet in case you sort of see it in your question, so that you'll be familiar with it. Yeah, so that's that. Is it the continuation? Oh, okay, this is not the continuation. So this is another question, right? Question 2. Say you view a query name transaction as shown in the following exhibits. So we have source name, we have ID, we have data, we have customer. Then this is the column. This is the column profile. So this is the column profile, this is the column distribution, and this is the column quality. So they showed us, the dinner said, the query gets CSV files from a folder. Use the drop-down menus to select the answer choice that completes each statement based on the information presented in the graphic. Note, each correct selection is worth 1 point. Then I said they are dash CSVs. So for us to know that, I think we have to look at this. So these are the CSVs there. So there are 9 distinct CSVs, but in the IDs we have 10 here. Right? And the next question is saying,
Okay, wait, I'm seeing 90. Okay, this is column statistics. There are 90 columns. That what it means?
no, there are 9. No, column start. Is it this one?
The column profile, I'm seeing count 90.
Yes, for dates. So date is selected here. So that's why we have 90. So there are 90 count. That means there are 90 rows for in this date that are not null, but there are 10 distinct. You get?
But what is it? Why did you get now? Let me see the CSV. How do you know it's 9?
Like, how do we know it's 90?
Yes. Why is it not 90?
Why?
Why is it not 90 CSV? Why is it 9 CSV?
Okay, 90 CSV, because this distinct. Remember the difference. So we can have 90 CSVs here, but the distinct will be 9.
But what does the question say?
The question says, the query gets CSV from a folder. You need the drop-down menus to select the answer choice that completes the blah, blah, blah. Then I said, there are dash CSV files, right? So how many CSV files do we have? So there might be 90 CSV files, but like if you're looking at the distinct.
Okay, it didn't say distinct files. It just said CSV files. It didn't say distinct. Or we should just assume it's saying distinct.
To be honest, I was just assuming it was saying distinct. You get? So
you're saying from the column distribution, we will know the number of CSV
yes.
files.
So
that's
the thing
by
is,
the time we now click one of them, we'll now begin to see the profile.
Exactly. We'll see the profile. It's just like saying you have 3 different files. I imported 3 of them 50 times. So how many files do we have? It's 3. It's still 3 because those are from what we have here now. There are actually 9 distinct files, but they were imported more than once. I think that's why we have all these dates. You get, so that's what we have here. So we have 9 distinct files. We have 9 distinct files, and the next one is saying removing. Oh, for this one, we said removing duplicate based on date column. We reduce the data set rows to. So if you remove duplicates for this, it will be 10. We have 10 distinct. You get, it's just like saying you have 3 files, but you imported them 50 times. You have 150. Right? So looking at it, technically, they are just 3 files, but they were imported more than once. So the answer to this one is just 9. There are 9 CSV files because there are 9 distinct files. And the data set, we have removing distinct to be 10. So I think that's what they choose here also. Because we have 9 distinct files, and removing duplicates in the dates will give you 10. So that's that. So I think this will be the last question because of our time. I was actually working before Peace called me. Yeah, so the question says your company has employees in 10 states. The company recently decided to associate each state to one of the following 3 regions: East, West, and North. You have a data model that contains employees information by states. The model does not include region information. You have a report that shows the employees by states. You need to view the employees by region as quickly as possible. What should you do? So we have create a new aggregation that summarizes by employee, create a new group on state column and set group type to list. Create a new group on the state column and set group type to bin. Create a new aggregation that summarizes by state. I think I'll have to try this out, but honestly, I feel the answer should be B. But before I conclude, let me first check this. I want to check something. Givola. So let me just clear this with and check this. So if I'm creating a new group, I want to see if I actually have that bin option. So I'm guessing the answer should be list. Oh. Exactly. So the answer should be list, right? The group type we have for categories is only list, while for sales is only bins. So if I create new group here, I would see bins. Okay, I can see lists. But for anything that is a category, we can't see bins here. So the answer is basically this: create a new group for the state column and set the group type to list. So I think we are done with that. So is there any other question?
No, sir. Mr. Demola,
yes.
So you said now for a subcategory, it's going to be list. If it's let's say they did not give us sales, let's say it was sales we're grouping by, would have used bin.
Yes.
Or
there's also in sales, we also have
lists.
We have list and bin. But
So
if
they now use, because my understanding is when it's a categorical data, it is list. When it's a numerical data, it is list or bin. So if it was a numerical data and those 2 options are there, and they say we should choose one, which one are we going to choose?
Well, the thing is, if you choose lists, it will treat this particular column as a categorical value, right?
Let's change it to bin.
But if you choose bin, it will show you the maximum value and the minimum value. It's just like saying you're treating age groups in bins. So 0 to 10 will be in a bin. 11 to 20 will be in another bin. 21 to 30 will be in another bin. You get? So that's how bin works. But if you are using lists for numerical values, it will treat this particular column as a categorical value. So my advice is, if you see this kind of question, the answer is bin, because you rarely use categorical values and bins together. And you rarely use numerical values and continuous values and lists together. So that will be my answer. So is there any other question?
For me, no, I don't know about that.
Okay, so when are you guys taking the exam? This week?
Mine is tomorrow.
I wish you the best. Yeah,
Thank
Atikeja.
you. You
Atikeja.
said?
Atikeja.
No. I'm writing a first stack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish you the best. It's not actually like, it's not, honestly, it was chilling. They even gave me AC. I was inside AC, but I was still sweating sharp. It was a nice experience. I started preparing for the data science, so, but I'm doing so many things, so that's why I just stop for now. So I'll continue preparing later. So I'm more of like in the data science part than analysis. So I'm just doing analysis because this is what is available for now. Yeah, so that's just it, Sha. When I actually took the exam, it was great. I believe you all will pass, honestly. Since you have put in the work, you have practiced, you have watched videos, you had mentors that came here to put you guys through. You have everything already. So that's just what I would say. So I think that was all from my end. So if you need any help, I'm always available, right? Even this girl left. So yeah, I think I'll have to leave now.
Hello?
Yeah, I said I'll have to leave now. So it's already 8. I was actually
Okay. I couldn't hear you. My network is unstable.
Oh,
so
okay, yeah. I was just explaining like my experience, right? And I was like I when I finished the exam, I actually enjoyed it. So I started preparing for the data science track. But I just had to stop because I don't want to be doing too many things. You get?
At the same time, I hope I'll have the same experience too.
Hopefully.
Thank you so much for the help. It's been really helpful.
So I was thinking we'll finish everything today.
Normally I was actually working. You get? So
Okay,
I
so
just
what number are we? What page are we? Because 122.
Okay. I think we're on page 62. I think we have done half.
I hope this week we can finish everything.
Yes, would organize to see how we can, because most of the mentors are really busy.
We can finish everything, at least finish one. I hope we'll get more, or we should just keep going to the free cramps by ourselves.
I'll try to schedule more.
Have you started using the free cramps? Have you started using it?
You know, this one, I got to like page 70 something. I saw the case studies and I got confused. I left it alone. And I went to the online. I've done like 2 now. Because the tough questions on this one are the case studies. I didn't understand many things there. I was hoping that, well, maybe we'll get there together.
The truth is, most of the time, the case studies are like almost this. I think they are just like about 3 case studies. Like
in the whole exam?
No, not in the whole exam. Like in total, like you see one of the 3. You understand?
I don't understand.
Like from all the past questions I've worked with, like I've gone through, the maximum I've seen is 3. But out of that 3, you will definitely see one of them
in the exam.
Yes. You don't get.
No, in this your exam stuff, this practice, the case studies are like 10.
At 10. And the thing is, in a case study, you see like 9 questions. You understand? In a case study, you see 9 questions. But it's like saying, from what I've seen like 3 different case studies, and those 3 different case studies like had 9 questions. That's what I'm trying to say. So out of those three case studies, that's what you see in your exam, and that will be like your number 1 to 9. So if you can get all the case studies, if you can get about maybe 3 or 4 case studies, there's high probability that those case studies will come out in your exam. You understand? One of the 4 or 3 you get, one of them, and that will be 9 questions.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's just it.
It's a very hard one.
It's not actually, honestly, it's not even hard. The questions are just long. The questions are just very long. But once you look at they will see like a comprehension passage, right? But when you now look at the main question, you see that there's nothing there. Just check that free crowns and check what's the name? Exam topics. So that's just it, Sha.
Okay.
So when will you be writing yours?
I'm looking at July.
July next month.
Right now.
Okay, nice.
But I need to be ready this month because there are many things on the table now. If you can get confidence by 2 weeks' time, then your mindset. You can. Because many things are on the table. But if I need that confidence, this thing is plenty. That's why I'm saying let's do this thing and let's know.
Sure, no problem there.
I thought I was doing because I know that these things are plenty. So I need because I'm working too now.
Yeah, I get.
So that's why I shifted it. If not, many things on the table though. Sure.
Sure. No problem. Yeah, so that will be it for my own end.
Peace. I wish you all the best tomorrow.
Yeah. Wish all of you all the best.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye for now.
So when is the next time now? Is it Nuyo will tell us?
Yeah, she will tell you. She will tell you.
Okay, no.
Bye.
Well,
am I the host? Because I'm seeing end.
Oh yes, you are.
Okay, let me just.